Okay, we're live. Hi, how are you?
I'm well.
Welcome. Oh, okay. I'm just saying hello to the chat. Hey, folks, I see a few folks joining. Welcome. Come on into the chat. You're welcome here. Hey, we built America, period. Oh, okay. I see you. We built America, period. That sounds like some ADOS talk. All right, let me pause this. Hi, everyone. I see a few of you have already joined us. Welcome to Delightful DTV. I am your host, DJ, and you know how I like to do it. When you come into the chat, say hello to me and let me know where you're coming from because I want to say hello to you in your language. So I want to take a moment to say hello, bienvenue, bienvenidos, welcome, habari gani, and all of the folks around the world. Everyone is welcome here. So I do see, hey Sean, it's so good to see you. We Built America says yes, ADOS in the building. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. Well, this should be a treat for you today. We have a couple here who is African American, and they are going to be sharing their story about their time in Tanzania, or as some people like to call it, Tanzania. And they're really going to be providing some really good insight into what life was like there for them. So let's see, they are here. Okay, let's see. Leslie? Looks like she's buffering. So let's see if it comes back in. Leslie? Hi again, Lior. How are you? Leslie, can you hear me? Okay, it looks like she's having some technical difficulties. Hey, Dee, what's up, girl? How are you? Leslie, if you can hear me, let me know. I see like your name, but we don't hear you. And I promise we did a run before we started the show, so let me check and see. Leslie, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. I can hear you now. Oh, okay. All right. So you're back with us now?
I am.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, awesome. So Leslie's here with us, and she's going to be sharing what it was like living in Tanzania, and she has a lot to share. So we're really appreciative of her coming forward with her story. We are going to be respecting her privacy because this is a sensitive issue. So I ask that everyone in the chat to please be compassionate and understanding because it's not easy to get up here and share your story with the world. Leslie is here because she saw things that she thinks it's important for other people to know. And on this platform, Delightful DTV, I'm all about sharing stories from across the diaspora that you are not going to hear on CNN or MSNBC. We give a voice to those who need it. So I'm going to do some housekeeping housekeeping, and then we're going to jump right in. So housekeeping, you are already here, so go ahead, take a minute and hit that thumbs up button. It shows that you appreciate and value our time. So go ahead and hit that like button. If you do want to support the channel, you can always hit the Cash App, which is #SherryDJ. Any amount is appreciated. No amount is too big or too small. And of course, super chats are always welcome. Only comments that come in via super chat will be on the screen just so that we don't distract our guest. And if you do have stories that you want to send me, you can send them to delightfuldtv@gmail.com and I will get back to you. So that is the housekeeping. We're going to jump right in. Leslie, how are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So for the audience, I would love for you to just share a little bit about why you decided to come forward now. What makes right now the moment in time where it's important for you to share this information?
I decided to come forward because there's a lot of YouTube videos out about that country, and the YouTubers are not being forthcoming and all the way truthful. So therefore, it's misleading to the people that's in the UK, that's in Canada, and that's in the United States, for them to come over. They need to know everything that they could encounter, and they just need to know the truth.
Absolutely. Wow. So, Leslie, let's start at the beginning. What made you decide to pick up your life and move to Tanzania? What was the driving force behind that?
Well, I just really got tired of living around white people.
Mm,
I just didn't want to be around them anymore. I wanted to be around people that look like me. I wanted to be around the origins from where I came.
got it. And so, was it just like working in the corporate world or just the daily grind of American life that was just starting to feel burdensome? Or were there specific events that triggered that desire to live around people that looked like you?
Well, I mean, I worked in the corporate world years ago, so I mean, I was done and that was over with. But the thing that, like I said, I was just tired of being where I was, and I had the means to leave, and so I left. And I like to try to control my environment, where me being in America, yes, I could control who came to my house or who came on my property. I could do that. But once I left
Mm,
out the home, I could not control who was around
mm.
me.
Oh, I didn't catch the last part. You went out a little bit. You said you could control what was in your house, but you couldn't control what?
I could not control out of my home.
Ooh, Leslie, you're breaking up a little bit. Are you in an area with good signal?
Let me turn my Wi-Fi on. I don't have my Wi-Fi on. Let me turn that on.
Okay, cool. She's going to turn her Wi-Fi on, but so far she's letting us know that she was really just tired of like the environment, and she was able to control things that were going on within the home, but stepping outside the door, as any person of color, any Black person knows in America, you can't control what's going to happen once you step outside your door. So it sounds like that's what led to some of the decisions. So we get to the place where you decide that you're ready to move. How do you decide on Tanzania specifically, right? There's 54 countries in Africa, huge continent. Why Tanzania?
Well, that was not my choice, but that was the only country that was open at the time. So I wasn't the only person that was going there for that reason. There were more people that were going there because that was the only country that was open just in order to get on that continent. So once the borders opened in different countries, then we could leave and go to the country we really wanted to go to.
Mm. Okay, so let's put this in perspective. We're talking sometime last year, we're talking the height of the pandemic. And so suddenly Tanzania becomes very attractive because it was the only country that was open. Is that right?
Correct.
Mm. So Tanzania was not the first choice. And did that send any red flags? Like, did you feel like that was a red flag that, hey, everything else is closed, but this country is open? Did that seem like a warning to you or a red flag?
Well, no, because I was already warned about corruption because my doctor is actually from Africa.
Mm,
So I was already forewarned, and like my doctor told me, the government they lie, the government is corrupt. Be careful. She didn't want me to go, but
mm,
I was like, well, I want to go, and I want to go, and I want to see what can I get done over there. So when I went, I was equipped for the virus, so I was well protected. So I had no red flags to that. I mean, I
mm.
knew the country was open because of tourism. They wanted to
Right.
use the money. They feel, okay, well, if we shut down, then we're going to lose money. That's going to hurt our economy. So that's why the country was open. Everybody knows that.
Absolutely. And did YouTube play a role in Tanzania? Like, were you watching YouTube vloggers, or was it just the word on the street?
No, the YouTube videos did not play a role in my decision at all.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so let's fast forward. You get to Tanzania, you're there, now you're among your people. What was your experience like living in Tanzania?
Well, when I initially first got there, I was happy because I was on the continent of Africa. So I
Mhm.
was happy, I was elated. But unbeknownst to me, the scamming starts when you step off the plane and you don't even know it.
Ooh,
I mean, you
okay.
don't even know it because the way they come at you, oh, they come at you with their arms open, they're skinning and grinning, oh, they call you your brother. I mean, their brother, they call you their sister, all of that, they call you mama, they call you daddy, they do all of that. But you need to know
Mm.
that you're being buttered up, for them to go ahead and hit you with what they really want, which is your money.
Wow. And so, can you share an experience that you had with getting scammed in Tanzania?
I can, I have a few that I can share. For instance, um, let's talk about, um, let's talk about the drivers. That's the smallest thing. Let's talk about the drivers. When you get there, you're not going to have a vehicle, so yeah, you got to hire a driver, or you have to call a car to come and take you where you want to go. Whether that be a boda boda, I'm not going to get on the dollar dollar. Anybody else can get on there. I'm not doing that. But
Mm,
there's the boda boda, there's InDriver, there's Bolt, and there's Uber. Or you can just get people. There's guys that just park on the side of the street with cars or vans. You can just hire them to take you places. Okay, so this
mm,
is what they'll do. Well, I'm the person, okay, I'll tell the driver, okay, I want to go here, here, and here. How much is this going to cost me? Okay, they'll tell you, okay, well, this is going to cost you such and such. That's,
mm,
let's say 25,000, 30,000 T shillings, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay, you agree on that because that's what they're telling you that they're going to charge you. But then when they take you to where you want to go, they'll be like, oh, well, I need more money. What do you mean you need more money? You
Mm,
said that it was going to cost this amount to go from here to there. So now why do you want more money? But that's what they do. They'll do that. I've even had drivers actually overcharge me by me not knowing what the going rate is. And then they'll come and say, well, I want 100,000 more T shillings, or I want
mm,
120,000 more T shillings. And I'm like, no, I already paid you what you said you was going to charge me. I'm not going to give you anything else. Then their next line, this is the line, not even just the drivers, just about every local I have come in contact with that tries to rob you of your money or scam you of your money, they will say, I'm going to call the police. They like to threaten
wow.
you by calling the police.
Really?
Yes,
I mean, as soon as they hear your voice, the price is already going up.
right.
Wow.
I mean, they see you as they don't see you as your brother or your sister. They see you as an ATM machine. That's
Mm,
what
Correct.
they see
Correct.
you as.
Okay, now let me go back to talking about them always want to yell or scream, I'm going to call the police. I feel like this. They're watching what's going on in the United States to Black men. They're watching what's going on in the United States to Black women by the police. And they want to use that on the Americans that's coming over to threaten them into giving them more money. I'm going to call the police.
What?
Yes. They know what's going on. They're not dumb. They're not dumb by no means. They put the S in scamming. Do you hear me? They're not dumb. They work in groups. They work in families. They work in teams. And when I say they work in groups and teams, let's say, okay, you're there, you're moved in, you have a Wakazi, right? A Wakazi is a worker. You know, it could be a Dada Wakazi, it could be a Fundu Wakazi, whatever. Okay. You have a Wakazi, right? Okay. They'll say, oh, well, I know someone that can do such and such for you. You know, the Dada is in your house. A Dada Wakazi is in your house. They don't have to live there. Sometimes they live there, but usually, you know, they'll come there every day. You know, you got the security person. So when I say they're working in teams and groups, they're telling you, well, I have this person that can help you do this, or I have this person that can come and work and do this. You leave the house, they rob you.
And so they set you up.
Yes, they're setting you up to rob you. So you have to be mindful of those things. And a lot of people don't know that.
So you bring a worker into your home and they will be working in a group with other people to set you up to get robbed.
Correct.
Wow. And
your landlord will rob you. Your landlord will break in your house and take your stuff.
Ooh, wow. And folks in the chat, Terrence Johnson is saying this sister is telling the truth. We Built America says they're passing you around their network. And Eve Adams says, not surprised. Wow. So let's go back to that police statement because that was very powerful. So essentially, Africans in Tanzania are seeing the issues that Black Americans are dealing with police brutality, George Floyd, all of these cases of people losing their lives at the hands of the police. And so if there's a battle or a clash, they will then threaten to call the police because they believe that Black Americans are afraid of the police.
Correct.
Wow.
They want to try to get as much money out of you as they can, and they will threaten to call the police on you if you do not pay them.
My goodness, that is so surprising. What was that like for you as a Black American to realize that that was being used as a weapon?
I mean, it was hurtful. It was hurtful, but I'm the type, okay, you want to call the police on me to try to, extort more money out of me? Call the police. Bring them on over. But the thing about it is, now, since we're talking about the police, let's talk about the police themselves. There's checkpoints. Oh my gosh, it seems like it's a checkpoint every mile.
Everywhere.
And what they're doing is they stop you and they're bribing you out of money. They're making up things that's going on with your car.
You're not even doing anything wrong.
You're not doing anything wrong. And they're making you pay them money to keep from giving you a ticket. And then don't let them find out that you're American. They're really about to drop the hammer on you.
What?
Yes. It's crazy. I sat with a family and I watched 2 police officers tell them, if you do not give us 200,000 T-shillings, we're going to arrest you, which was the husband. We're going to take your van and we're going to impound it. And your wife and 5 children will be walking on the street.
Wow.
That is exactly the truth.
And I begged them. I said, please do not pay them. Do not pay them a dime. And the wife was saying, we have to. I said, you don't have to give them a penny. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. They stopped us and asked us where we were from. The husband said the United States. The police officer said, oh, you're American? Oh, follow me. He jumps on a motorcycle with another cop, takes us around to an abandoned building. And that's when the shakedown started.
Oh, no.
And so they gave them 150,000 T shillings just to leave them alone. And then me, I'm the type of person, the way it is in Tanzania, when any money is being exchanged, if you're buying or selling or doing whatever, you're supposed to pay taxes on that, right? So I jumped out the van to run to the police officer to demand a receipt, because if he couldn't produce a receipt, I was going to make him give back that 150,000 T shillings because it was wrong. But the family was like, no, 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 we're leaving. And then their young son, sat back there behind me and said, this is why we're going back to America, because this happens to us every day and we are tired of it. A child knows that they're wrong.
Wow.
A child knows that they're corrupt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's astonishing. And that brings me to the part about the Black aspect. So, what was it like being quote unquote Black in Tanzania? Because that was part of the motivation for going. So, how was race perceived there?
Okay, well, this is how it is. They're Tanzanian. You're just a Black person. You're not their sister or brother. They don't even connect with you. They don't. You are a foreigner. You are a Mzungu. You are a meal ticket.
Because I know she asked one citizen, she said, aren't you Black like me? She said, no, I'm Tanzanian. I'm not Black.
Oh, wait, let's back up. So
yes,
can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
My wife asked the lady. She said, now ain't you Black like me? She said, no. She said, I'm Tanzanian. I'm not Black.
So which I know Black isn't a race. I know that, but still, you want to make it clear that we're different. You want to make it clear that I'm not one of you.
And they love white people over there.
Oh gosh, yes they do.
White people is God.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
We got discriminated twice because we was Black and we wasn't white.
Right.
So wait, what happened? How were you discriminated against for being Black?
Okay, so this is when it came down to housing, looking for a house to rent. So there was this one house in particular. Oh, and mind you, these little dalalis or agents or whatever they want to call themselves, they jack the prices up on houses. It's not even what the owners are even asking, okay? I'm just warning the people that's coming to Tanzania. Be mindful of that. Because they don't want to let you get in contact with the owner. They want you to pay them. They're trying to get as much money off you up front before you even get in contact with the owner. So just be aware of that. Okay. Wow. So there was this one house in particular. The Dalali told me it was 750,000 T shillings. I said, okay, that's fine. I have no problem paying that. So the Dalali contacted the owner. Come to find out, the owner was only wanting, what was it? 600? No. He wanted 600,000. He was wanting 650,000 T shillings. So the Dalali said, okay, well, these are Americans, and he was happy. But then when he found out we were Black, he was like, oh no. I don't want any Black Americans in my house. I don't want to rent to a Black American.
This is the owner that said
this. This is the owner that said this. Now this right here is the kicker. A white American only wanted to pay 400,000 T shillings a month, and the Tanzanian man went with the white person because they were white. So you knocked yourself out of all that money a month? They don't.
Wow. That's really, really crazy. Let me take a minute.
The guy that showed us the house, he came back and told us, he said the owner did not want y'all in the house because you was Black.
No. He didn't come back and tell us. He called the owner on the phone and put it on speakerphone so we could hear the owner say it.
And the owner said he didn't want to give it to us because we was Black. Because his sister or somebody was at the house too.
It was his niece.
His niece, and seen us when we was walking around the house. And so she made a phone call to him and told him that we was Black. And so that's when the guy that was showing us around called him on speaker. And he said, I didn't want them in my house because they're Black. I'm going to go with the white people for the less money. He said, I want white
people. But before then, he had just had Chinese people in the house that tore the house up.
But he didn't want the Black people.
Didn't want the Black people. But that's okay because it's like this. One monkey don't stop a show.
And we was
Right.
gonna pay the full price for the house.
Right. And I'm not going to beg
Wow.
anybody to take my money. I'm just not going to do that.
Wow, absolutely. Let me pause right here to make two announcements. So first, there are 45 folks in the chat. Welcome to everyone that's here. I'm not seeing the likes go up, so make sure to hit that like button because this is high quality content. So go ahead and take a moment to hit the like button now so that we can go ahead and continue the show. Also, I've been alerted that it sounds like there are some trolls in the chat. So Terrence Johnson, I have added you as a moderator. If you see someone using hate speech, if you're using someone that is being like very disrespectful, please go ahead and block them. Don't block folks just for disagreeing, but if someone is making like really awful comments or something like that, definitely do that. So I have added you as a moderator. Let me see what the likes are looking like. Okay, let's get the likes up. Can we get 10 more likes? So let's go ahead. They're teaching us a lot about what's going on in Tanzania. They're letting us know about how they were discriminated against because they were Black, and how the Tanzanians did not see them as being one of them based on skin color. So this is extremely valuable information. So let's make sure that we are really understanding where they're coming from. So let's go ahead and get the likes up. I see we've got some more. Let's get up to 6 more likes. Welcome to everyone who is here, and we will continue. I do want to acknowledge Katan. He says, DJ never blocked me. I'm in love with you. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And we're going to get back to the story. So what were white people treated like in Tanzania? Like, what did you see with your own eyes in terms of like white folks?
They're treated like royalty.
Yes, royalty.
They're treated like royalty.
Tell me about the time with the phone at the phone place when we were standing outside.
Okay, so this is when we were still living in Arusha. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, it went out. What happened?
Oh, I'm still here. My cam is just off for a second.
Oh, okay. So this is when we were still living in Arusha. So I had a router, and I was having an issue with my router. So we went to Airtel, and at the time they had stopped letting people in. They had closed. So what they'll do is they'll come out and let you in, one at a time to take care of your issue. So myself and my husband were there standing there, and there were people sitting around. We thought those people were just people that were waiting to be waited on as well. And of course it was raining, it was flooding. I mean, it was awful, but we were standing there because I needed to get my stuff seen about. So I'm waiting. As soon as a white man came up, everybody that was sitting down ran to him to help him. And that's when it was like, my husband threw a fit, and I had to catch him because I'm like, don't do that, because he was like, how dare them do this? They knew we were waiting. They knew we needed help, and nobody opened up their mouth. But as soon as this cracker comes, everybody flocks to him and helps him. That's what they do. That's what they do. Do you know that they will make you move out of a parking spot if a white person wants that parking spot?
No, stop it.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth.
I don't want to believe that.
I'm telling you what has happened. I mean, even in Shoppers. Shoppers is a grocery store that's in Tanzania. Mm-hmm. And I was in the store, and all of a sudden I heard my husband's voice, because my husband doesn't like to see a woman get disrespected. He doesn't care who you are. If you're a female, he's not going to let nobody disrespect you. So I heard my husband's voice in the store, and I come running to the front to see what's going on. There was a Black lady that just happened to be American, and I guess the man didn't know it. She was in line right there at the register, had her stuff on the register belt. The white man comes in front of her and drops his stuff down, and the lady started checking it out, and my husband stopped that. He said, no, you're not going to disrespect this lady. She was here in line. You get to the back of the line. And he made him get all of his stuff off the belt and go to the back and let the Black lady get her grocery checked out.
My goodness.
So that's what they do that all around the stores. I mean,
yeah, and so
they just jump in front of the women and like they're nothing.
Right. And so the people there are so accustomed to that they say nothing. They don't say anything. They just let it happen. But they praise them. I even had a conversation with a local because I wanted to know, why do you guys, have a white Jesus and a white Allah on your dollars? And he told me, he said, well, from when we're little, we're raised up, that white is right. White is of God, and we're supposed to give everything that we have to them so we can be closer to God. And I asked him, I said, now, are you serious? Are you serious? And he said, yes.
Wow. So a Tanzanian told you that they are raised to believe that white people are of God and that they are supposed to give what they can to white people?
That's what he told me. He said that they are taught that they were nothing until the white man came.
Wow. And how did that make you feel? Because you're a Black American, you've lived in America all your life, you're going home to Africa, to your origin, as you said earlier. How did that make you feel? What did that do to you at the psychological level?
I was floored. I was floored. But it's not happening like that in just that country. It's all of the countries in Africa where it's that way. The white people get priority. The Indians from India get priority. The Chinese or Asians, whatever you want to call them, chinks get get priority.
Let's not use any
I
racially
apologize.
charged
I'm sorry.
language.
The Asians get priority. The Lebanese get priority. The Arabs get priority. How are you letting all these people get priority in your country and they're stumping on you? They're stealing your resources. They don't even care about you.
Wow.
But they're praising these people and they're worshiping these people, and these people are doing nothing for you. If they were doing something for you, if they were going to help you, your infrastructure would be together. You wouldn't have raggedy roads. Your electricity wouldn't go out every day. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And that's another thing for anybody trying to go to Tanzania and anywhere. The power goes out and it might not come back on for days.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Right. So when you go over there and you're looking for a home to rent, even if it's an apartment, make sure that it has a generator. If you're lucky, there's some new apartments that's being built that have solar panels. You need to look for things like that because the power goes out every day. There was I don't know how many times we had to leave our house and go to a hotel because the power was out.
Wow. So I want to catch folks up in the chat. We have a lot of people joining. So welcome to all the folks in the chat. This is certainly a powerful story that is being shared by this couple. And I want to point out some things for those who are just joining. This couple didn't just visit Tanzania. They lived in Tanzania for the better part of the year. And this was mostly last year. And so this is a couple that can really speak to what life is like on the ground on a daily basis. And I want to point out what they said about having to give up parking spaces to white people. It really it's taken me aback because I'm thinking about the Jim Crow South, and I'm thinking about how in the 50s and the 40s, Black people used to have to get up off of the bus if a white person came to sit down, and they would have to go to the back. And so it sounds like there are some Jim Crow practices in Tanzania.
Yeah, I mean, a colonized mind is hard to break.
Wow. And so for the husband, I would like to ask you, from your perspective as a Black man, because a lot of this comes from the Black man wanting to be free and to be away from, the police brutality. What was it like for you as a male once you realized that you were going to encounter a lot of the same things in Tanzania?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's just like I've told anybody. I've dealt with white people here in America with no problem. But after being in Tanzania, those people broke me. I've never been broken by anybody in my life. But those people brought me down and I was ready to go.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
it's awful over there. Just looking and seeing and see how you as a black person, you don't fit in over there. You think you would fit
Mm,
in there, but you don't. I mean, like I
mm.
said, they just see you as a cash cow.
Wow.
I mean, you don't fit in. This is our experience. Now, everybody's experience is different,
Right.
but this
Mm-hmm.
is our experience. This is what we experience,
Mm,
and we experienced that we was no better over there than we are over here.
mm,
I mean, we thought it would be better over there. You know, we would be around our own people. You know, your own color. You know, you thought it would be better, but
mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean,
Wow.
dealing with the locals and the police. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, no, the police don't kill you, but they want your money. I mean,
Mm,
that's. I mean, you worked hard for your money. You didn't work hard just to give it away to anybody.
right. You worked hard for it because you
Now,
need
I'm
it.
the type of person that, if I can help you, you come to me, and if I can help you, yeah, I help you. But I don't want you to take my money. That's when we got a problem.
Mm, absolutely. I hear you. And so when you say it broke you, what did that look like? Like on
I
a
mean,
daily basis? Like what does that look like?
I had started getting hatred for being there and being around the people because
Mm,
I was just ready to go by
mm,
any means necessary. I mean,
wow.
it was a horrible feeling, to know that, you come here and try to get things prepared for your family because we was gonna try to bring your kids over later and all like that. But
Yeah.
you can't even do that on the continent. So where can you go?
Mm. Right, absolutely. Where can you go? Where do you fit in? Yeah, that's really distressing. I'm looking at the chat now. I see we have 29 likes, but we've got 65 folks in the chat. So I think we should have more than that. Can we get up to 40 likes? Because this couple is sharing a powerful testimony and a lot of their story. And so I definitely think we need to show some love. So before we continue, the folks in the chat, can you go ahead and hit that like button because it helps their story to get out further. So definitely go ahead and take a moment to do that now. So we will move forward to the next part of being in Tanzania. So we know that during the pandemic, we know that President Magufuli passed away under very suspicious circumstances. We know that the country was in a state of mourning. What was it like living in Tanzania during the pandemic? And let's just refer to it as the pandemic. We won't get into the specific names of it and things like that, but we'll just say the pandemic. What was it like
Well, I
living?
mean, I just want to say this: if you asked, when we got there and when we was around the locals, there was no COVID. They
No,
said they
no, don't
prayed.
say that.
Oh
Don't
yeah, you
say
can't.
no,
Oh,
don't say that.
oh,
See,
you
you
can't
don't
say
even
that.
need to talk.
Oh, okay.
No, he's fine. He's fine. Just say pandemic because YouTube will do all types of stuff. So just
Oh,
pandemic. That's
Okay.
fine. No, definitely. Go ahead.
Um, just
Yeah,
say
no, please
pandemic.
go ahead and finish. I really wanted to hear what you had to say,
He's, I guess he's,
sir.
he's not gonna be able to he's not gonna be able to not say that word. So I guess he's not gonna speak.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, just go ahead because I really do want to hear what you have to say, sir.
Because when we said that over there and on the continent, you get put in jail. So I just want to just
Oh yeah.
be just away
Mhm.
from it. So just go ahead.
Oh, okay. He's
So,
getting into the fact that um in that country we could not say that word.
mm,
You just
so you could not say the word. It was illegal.
correct.
Wow.
You either had to say C word, or you would have to say pneumonia, or you would have to say flu. You couldn't say that word. You couldn't even text that word. Now, let me tell you guys, the people
Mm,
that's on here, you do not have freedom of speech over there. Okay, you're not in America
mm,
anymore. You don't have freedom of speech. You got to be mindful and you got to watch what you say. Okay, everything
mhm.
over there is censored. They know what you're doing on social media. They know what you're doing on WhatsApp. They know what you're doing on Telegram. They know what you're doing on Signal. They know what you're doing on Soft Talk. They know what you're doing on all of that. I just want you guys to know that.
Mm.
So that's how a
So
lot of people was getting in trouble. They were texting this, or they were, and so just know you couldn't do that then. I don't know about what's going on now. I can only talk about when I was there.
wow. So, to all the folks in the audience, this is pivotal because there was a lot of talk about this at the height of the pandemic. But what the couple is sharing with us is that it was literally illegal to even say the word. You had to say it was the C word, or you had to say it was pneumonia. And I distinctly remember several videos coming out of people saying they had pneumonia and things like this. But what the couple is telling us is that when they were in Tanzania, you had to say that even if that wasn't really what it was. And so the government was, so they were watching the apps and things like that. So they knew what you were texting. They knew what people were texting.
They have a lot of infiltrators on social media.
Mm. And these infiltrators, I suppose, are people who are paid to agitate or paid to see if you would say something that was
No,
illegal.
they're not going to agitate you. They're just there to hear what you got to say. They're not going to
Mm.
agitate you. Now, one thing that I do know,
I can remember when we spoke about a local.
I'm getting to it. That's what I'm about to talk about right now. One thing that I do know is when it comes down to the government and ultimately, definitely the president, you cannot say anything about them.
Mm.
Everything that you say has to be good. So let's say if someone really wants to get at you or have you harmed, they can go to the government and say that you said bad things about the president, the prime minister, anybody. They'll put you in jail. So you have to be careful
Wow.
and mindful of that. You can't get on social media. You can't get on social media bashing, the country. You can't get on social media telling what's really going on, because if you're
Mm.
still there in that country, they're going to get you. They're going to pick you up.
Mm.
We was also told by a local that it's people that be in plain clothes.
Yeah.
Like when people are at the markets and
Yeah.
stuff,
Listen to your
just
conversation.
listening to your conversation to see if you're saying anything bad about the government, the president, or anything.
Right.
And they'll get you put in jail.
Right.
Wow. So you went from America, a place where you can say anything you want, disagree with anyone you want, talk about the president if you want. You went from America to a place where you can't even say something critical of those in authority.
Correct.
Mm. And what was the handling of the pandemic like? I know that when we spoke, you spoke about some of the practices. Can you share some of that with the audience?
Well, there was no social distancing. There was no lockdowns. I mean, it's so many people in that country. How can you social distance?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Now, things that they did have at some places, they had the hand washing stations and the sanitizing stations before you come into the building or whatever. Now, they did do that, but as far as social distancing and wearing masks, oh no, they didn't do that. There were plenty of times when the locals tried to make us take our mask off. We prayed it away. It's not here. Take off the mask. No, I'm not taking my mask off. You need one on.
What? So locals would try to take your mask off?
Right. I even encountered it was three police officers when we got stopped. They stopped us trying to make us take our mask off. And I was like, no, I'm not taking off my mask. And it was like, well, I don't care who said what. I'm not taking my mask off for anybody. When my mask come off, it's when I'm inside of my house.
I'm just, wow.
By the police, if they're not doing anything wrong, police.
Oh yeah. And for the people that's still gonna go over, which I'm not gonna say don't go. Everyone's experience is not the same, and there's a lot of people who have experienced this, that they're still staying there and they're willing to take the abuse because they don't want to go back to America. I'm not gonna take that abuse. But but the people that's going to go over, and this is for any country in Africa, if you encounter a police that's trying to, bribe you, shake you down, whatever you want to call it, you need to immediately call your embassy. There is an emergency number for that. Call your embassy. If you're from the UK, call the UK embassy. If you're from Canada, call the Canadian embassy. If you're from the United States, call the US embassy and let them know what's going on. And they will send a security team over there where you are to get you out of those situations.
So for the folks that are thinking of going, you might want to write this down, because this couple lived in Tanzania, and they're saying you may want to write that info down because you may need it.
And also,
they'll never own the land.
Well, they should know that if they don't know that.
Okay, well, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna pause.
And another thing.
Wait, hold on, Leslie. We're going to pause because I do want you all to get into that land aspect. We're going to take a little break. We're going to pause. You can rest your throat. Chat, we're going to... You can rest your throat because I know you're on fire. You're bringing a lot of good information. Folks, we're going to pause this conversation until we get up to 50 likes. There's over 70 people in the chat. We only have 37 likes. So I think that means we need a break until we can get these likes up. As you know, like if you want to support the channel via super chat, that would be amazing. And your comment will appear on the screen. But yes, we're going to hold off on continuing until we can get up to 50 likes, because I mean, we have to show some love for these folks telling their story. I have seen some people that are asking, why are they hiding, or why are they not showing their face? And I'm going to answer that as the person who's running this interview. We made a decision to do that for their safety. This is a very sensitive conversation, and safety will always be the most important thing. We can hear their story, and ultimately, as with any interview, I always say it's up to you whether you believe the information or not. If you believe that these people have so much time on their hands that they're going to come and make up a whole story about a country, then that's on you. But I can tell you that I have it on very good authority that these are very credible sources. And as they said, everyone's experience is different. If you want to go over there and find out, that's fine. But it would behoove you to keep in mind what these folks are saying, because they've already been where you may be trying to go. So yes, we're at 41 likes. Can we get to 50? We just need 9 more, and then we can get into the land issues and some other things that the couple want to share with us. So I'm going to refresh to see if we can get to 50 likes, and then we will continue. So I see we're at 40. We only need 10, and it's a lot of folks in here. So can we get 10 more likes so that we can continue the show? Or do you all just like looking at my face? Are y'all feeling that? Y'all just want to look at me, or what? And let me go ahead and put the Cash App on the screen. So you can definitely support the channel via Cash App or Super Chat, because that definitely shows support for the work. It takes a lot of energy to put these things together. So very much appreciated. All right, let me check and see where we are. For my mods, can you definitely let folks know to hit that thumbs up button while you're modding the chat? That would be much appreciated. And I'm going to play some music while we wait to get up to 50 likes, and we'll come back. So the couple's going to rest their voice, and we'll be back.
It's in the freezer.
Do you want?
Yeah.
All right, we're at 46. Can we get to 50 likes so that we can continue the show, or should we just keep our music going? Let me know. 47. All right, let's get to 50 likes. Alex, you don't like any music, so this is what I will suggest. Send me some music and then we can talk. Alex just loves to complain. All right, can we get to 50 likes? Let me know. Can you hear the beats? All right, let's get to 50. We're at 47. We need 3 more likes. Oh, let me see. Here we go. All right, can you all hear the music now? All right, let me see. Okay. Are we at 50 yet? Let me check. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some pimping in it. Hold up. All right, let's see. Okay. Are we at 50 yet? We're at 46 likes. We're at 46 likes, guys. We need to get up to 50 likes. There's more than enough folks in here. This couple is taking time to share this. So we need 4 more likes and then we can continue. So Cutie Misbehaving says, come on, guys. I want to hear more of the story. I do too. That's why I'm saying I'm trying to see. If folks don't like the show, then I don't know if we should continue. I see we're at, okay, 48. All right, we need 2 more likes. Let's get 2 more likes and then we will continue. All right, let me see. I'm refreshing. All right, we need 2 more likes. So let's see who's going to take us over that finish line. Call your friend, let them know. Call your auntie, let her know. We need 2 more likes. And Rob C says, no, we like the music. Okay, all right. So I'll play a little bit more then. Let me find something. Let me get one of my other beats. Y'all know I'm a DJ. Let's see. Let's see. 49. All right, let's get to 50. We need 1 more like. Who's going to give us 1 more like to get to 50? Let's get to 50 likes so we can continue. Somebody drop in the chat 50 when we're at 50. Are we at 50 likes, y'all? Woo! All right, we're over 50. Okay. iMovement says we are at 52. Let me check. All right, good job. Bravo. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's continue. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Bienvenue à ma chaîne. Habari Gani. Welcome. This Black American couple is giving us the real deal. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. It means a lot. All right, so Leslie, let's get into the land aspect. Now, I know that you said people should already know the land situation, but a lot of people don't know the land and business situation because a lot of videos are coming out saying that you can start a business in Tanzania today. You can own land and a home in Tanzania today. So what is the real deal with the land and the business situation?
You'll never own land in Tanzania, you know, however people want to pronounce it. Mm-hmm. You'll never own land there. You are a foreigner. The locals don't even own their land. The government does. So if you think you can just run over there and buy land, you're wrong. You can't.
You have to use a local.
Well, see, they try to say that to say, you know, oh, well, you know, you can, get in good a local, use a local to buy the land, and then the local lease the land to you, and don't do it.
It's not your land, it's the locals' land.
And then it's not the locals' land, it's the government's land, because the government can come take it anytime they want to. But when I say don't do it, because here's the thing. When you're dealing with locals, that's what they are. They're locals. They know more about their country than you do. They know more about their country than you'll ever know. And what they can do is, okay, you've paid all this money to them. They can come back and demand more money. They can come back and demand more money. And that has been done. There's people that's still there. And I have no idea why they're still there. I mean, I would not stay. I was with one couple when they paid the landlord the rent. They paid them 3 months rent. That's what the landlord wanted. That's what was in the contract. And we were there and we witnessed it. The landlord wrote them out a receipt showing that that the couple had paid him the 3 months rent. 2 months hadn't even passed by yet. The landlord demanded more money. He said, Christmas is coming up. I need more money. And if you don't pay me, I'm going to serve you with an eviction notice.
Wow. So they actually did not own what they thought they owned.
No. They were living in the home that they were renting. This is about renting right now.
Okay.
And so renting and leasing is basically the same.
Okay.
So when I say you need to be careful about that, because the local can come and demand more money even after you've already paid them. They can demand more money, and they will demand more money. So those are things to be mindful of going over there. So I was just telling about this situation that I witnessed that happened with the landlord and a couple that was renting a home that had paid their rent up for the 3 months, and 2 months hadn't even passed. And the landlord came and demanded more money and said, if you don't pay me more money, I'm going to serve you with an eviction notice. And that's what the landlord did.
Wow. So contracts can be changed at a moment's notice, basically.
Right.
Gotcha. And what about the business side of things? Because I mean, that's the popular selling point. Come to Tanzania, start you a business for $500. Come to Tanzania, be a business owner. Stop working for the man. What's the real deal on that?
Okay, well, I want to know what businesses that you starting for 500, because evidently you're doing it under the table. You're not doing it the legal way, because it costs more than that. You have to get a business visa. You also have to pay for a business license. You have to pay for a business permit. You have to do all of that. And that's way more than $500.
Wow.
So whoever is telling people you can come over there and start a business for 500, cut it out. It's not true. Go to the government website. Everything is on there telling you how much it costs for each thing.
Okay. And so if Black Americans go there, like while you were there, did you see any Black Americans who were able to successfully start businesses, like from the diaspora?
There was one, I don't know her name.
Oh, you don't have to give any names, just in general.
She has a STEM school. She has that. There was another couple that opened a laundromat.
Okay.
And there was this one couple tried to open up an Airbnb, but that didn't work out. I don't know what happened. I believe they got scammed and they just decided to leave the whole country.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you saw a couple successful businesses get off the ground, but there's a lot more to it than just coming with a few $100s and trying to get in.
Right. And there's this one, I believe it's two brothers, and I believe their soft opening is coming up. And the name of theirs is Barbecue and Chill.
Got it. Okay, got it. All right, so let's wrap things up with the pandemic situation. So I remember when we spoke, you mentioned something very powerful about seeing certain things on the streets during the pandemic. Can you speak to that?
Yes, I can. And what we saw whenever we went out, which we had to go out a lot, there were like hearse after hearse with caskets in them, and there were even some of those, I don't know what they call those little bitty trucks that they have. They even had caskets on those. So yeah, people were dying.
Wow.
A lot of people were dying. I mean, there were funerals, multiple funerals every day.
So when you would go out of your house, you would see hearses just with caskets and bodies on the streets.
Right. Just going down the highway. I guess they were going to a funeral, or they could have been going to a burial site.
And this was on the daily.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh yeah, I do remember that. One day we were at the market, and a man, it wasn't an old man, he just dropped dead. He didn't grab his heart first or anything. He just dropped dead, and that scared me. And I was like, there's only two things that I know that you just drop dead from like that. It's either a heart attack or it's that, that other thing.
And so I want to make sure that we understand this couple would walk outside of their house and they would see caskets every day taking bodies away. They would see hearses on the streets. Now, was Magufuli still alive at this time, or had Magufuli already passed away?
He was still alive.
Okay, and so this was during Magufuli's time, right? And so we know that Magufuli would often say that it did not exist there, but there were bodies on the streets that this couple witnessed with their own eyes. And did that shake you up to live in a place where you saw bodies being taken away on a daily basis? Like, what did that, like that would, I don't know how I could deal with that. How did you deal?
I was ready to go.
Yeah,
I was ready to go.
I mean, what even scared me even worse was that, the times that we would go to the mall and stuff, nobody had on masks. It was just mainly me and her with masks on. You might see a few Chinese and Indians with a mask on, but not very much. And so maybe about a few weeks later, we went back to the mall. It was like everybody had on masks, and we was like, what's going on? Because everybody's wearing masks now when we was the only one wearing it. And then that's when we were slowly hearing that, things was going on over there, a lot more than what was being told.
Right.
Absolutely. And last question on this, and then we'll move on to you deciding to leave Tanzania. What was your relationship like with the Repack community? And please don't mention any specific names or anything like that, but just in general, there's a large diaspora community over there. Did you have any interactions? Did you feel a part of the community? Is it tight-knit? What did you see from the diaspora in general over there?
I had interactions with a few people, but I also had interactions with the people that should have never left the United States, if you understand what I'm saying. They should have stayed where they were because they're also scamming the diasporans is coming over. That's how they make their money. So, you have good people, you have bad people. You just have to figure out, if this is a good person or a bad person. But they're all over there.
By the time you figure it out, though, it's too late.
Right. You're already there.
Right.
Wow. And so what is like one common scam that the diaspora runs on itself? So diaspora folks that are already over there, what is a common scam that they run over?
Consultation and being a self-proclaimed Delali.
And can you go a little bit further into that and how that scam works so that people know?
Okay, so what they'll do is basically they're doing what the local Delalis are doing. They're going around finding these owners that have these empty homes. And the owner is asking this set price. They're jacking the price up and talking, showing it to the Americans. Oh, well, this is how much it is. You just pay me. So they're getting their little cut off, and then they're giving the owner what the owner really wanted.
And so breaking it down, because this was something that I noticed, was that it seems like when everybody gets to Tanzania, the first thing they do is become real estate agents. They start showing you house tours of houses, and all of a sudden they're into real estate and they know everything about the housing market. And so what this couple is saying is that that is actually a very profitable hustle. Is that right?
Right, correct.
Yeah, because you don't really know the prices. They make up their prices. But the thing is that the prices that they make up, it might seem cheap to you, but it's really lower than what it is. They're just making it higher,
Right.
so they can get money in their pocket.
Right. And then
Because they know that Americans come over there. You ain't rich, but you ain't coming over there without no money.
Right.
So,
Right. So they're charging their little, if you want to call it a dalali fee or real estate agent fee, they're charging their little fees, and it's usually, what is it like? First month's rent? First month's rent.
Wow. So that's something to keep an eye on because, folks aren't just showing you these beautiful properties for no reason. They're showing because that's how they make money. If you come over there and you invest or you buy one of those properties or you rent, they're getting something off of it too. And they get to collect, what do you call it? Dalali fees?
Right.
And be mindful too that when you're shown houses, they expect money after they get through showing you the house.
Or sometimes before they even show it to you.
Yes.
Or sometimes
it's not like in America, you get shown the house, you tell the realtor, I made my mind up, boo, 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 you're going about your business. There you have to pay the Delalis when they show you the house.
Like wow. There's this one American, she wants her 150 USD before she even show you anything.
Listen, she said, pay me my money up front.
Right.
No credit cards accepted, cash only.
Right. And
no.
Right. And another thing I want to warn people of that's going over, what they do, let's say some of these homes, because like in Dar, and when I say Dar, I'm talking about Dar es Salaam.
Okay.
Their drainage system isn't all that it should be. So when a lot of rains come through, things flood. So there's homes that has flooded, and what they'll do is they'll paint over that so you don't know. And this is not just in Dar es Salaam here. What I'm about to say is all up and down that country. Those a lot of those homes have mold in the homes, because of the humidity and things like that. And what they'll do is they'll just paint over it.
Wow.
So those are things you need to be mindful of because mold can kill you.
Absolutely.
That's not safe at all. That can kill you.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
Check the cabinets and everything.
Yes, check everything. When you go to look at these homes, to rent these homes, check these, look inside the cabinets, inside the closets, look everywhere. And I mean, and then you can even smell and tell that there's mold in places. So make sure that you wear a face mask, please.
Oh, wow. Wow, well, that brings us to our last segment, and we're going to segue into that. And I'm going to kick it off with this question. What was the final straw for you where you said, we have to leave Tanzania now? Like, I'm done. What was that really took you over the edge where you said, this is not going to work?
The final straw for me was with one of the locals, and at this point, I don't even know if it was her house or not. I hope it was. But we were renting a home, and
this was a horrible experience. I know what she's going to tell you. So this.
Okay.
The husband's
getting us ready.
He's probably going to leave the room because it's really hard on him. But I paid the rent, right? And it wasn't a little bit of money that I paid. It was thousands of dollars that I paid, right? Okay. So, I paid the rent. What was it? 2 days later, she calls and she's like, oh, you know what? My son wants the house. I'm going to let my son move in the house. I came to the house, but you weren't there. So where are you? And I'm like, okay, well, we're at such and such. Oh, okay. So, when you get back, I'm going to give you 5 days, to collect your things and vacate the home. And I'm like, well, my money back.
What?
Okay. So we go ahead and we actually go back sooner than 5 days. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the lady found out that we were on our way back, she changed from giving us 5 days to, as soon as you land, I want you out now. She was,
Oh.
I don't know why she was doing this. Don't know, don't care. But I
Mm-hmm.
believe she was trying to inconvenience me. I believe she was trying to put me in a stressful situation. But,
Mm-hmm.
no problem. So what I did was, when I landed, I had the driver waiting. Okay. I
Okay.
had the moving truck waiting. So when I showed up, I had the moving truck there. The
Mm-hmm.
lady had already changed the locks on the doors. Did
Oh.
not want us to get our stuff. So,
Mm.
we called and called and called. She would not answer the phone. So we got in contact with her son. And her son was like, look, you need to get over here and let these people in so they can get their stuff. So she comes and she's acting like she's done nothing wrong. So, she sees the moving truck there with movers. And I think that kind
Mm.
of shook her up because she wanted to inconvenience me. I believe she
Yeah.
wanted to have me sleeping outside or something. I don't know what her motive was. So
Mm.
the movers got everything out of the house and we left.
Mm.
She called the police and said we stole her stuff.
What?
Yes. And I was like, you know what? I said, let me tell you something. I said, everything that's on that moving truck. I said, I have a receipt in my purse for it. I said, and if I don't have a receipt in my purse for it, I can pull up a credit card statement to show you where I paid for it.
Mm.
So that's the type of stuff that we had to deal with. I mean, that was it right there.
Yeah, that was the final
That was
straw.
it. You're not gonna take my money and then say, oh, I'm gonna give my son the house, come and get your stuff. And then you're gonna try to keep my stuff, and then you're gonna call the police on me and say I stole your stuff, which was mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was it.
Oh, I just, my heart breaks for you. I just, that's just so shocking.
That was it.
I mean, and this is your own Black sister.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I mean, that was it. That was it for you.
That done it. That
Yeah.
done it. That done it. That done it. And I'm sure that there's people that's, coming over
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you can see it. Can you see her?
Yes, yes, I can see her very clear. Who is that?
That's the woman. Beware of her.
Oh, wow. Okay, who is she?
Naib Sykes Bokala.
Okay, and is she a repat or a Tanzanian?
No, she's a Tanzanian.
Okay,
She's
she's a
the one.
Tanzanian.
She's the one that done what she done to me.
Mm. And so you're letting folks know to beware of her.
Correct.
Okay. Well, everyone in the chat, you saw the picture that she showed with us. If you want to turn your phone over, that way you won't, be
And
seen.
here's another person to beware of in Arusha.
Who is that?
That is Samir.
Okay. And what was his involvement?
He poses as a real estate agent and he steals your money.
Mm.
And he works for her. Remember when I say they work in teams and groups?
Yes, I remember
That's
you
your group.
said that.
That's your scam group right there.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was just saying that's your scam group right there. Like how you gonna take my rent money and then 2-3 days later, oh, your son wants the house and you don't want to give me back my money.
Wow. Well, audience, you saw the picture and you saw the woman who she spoke about. You also saw the man who she said, poses as a real estate agent. So she's letting you know to beware of those folks if you're on the ground, to do your due diligence, because this is her story. And I just want to say, Leslie, and to your husband as well, my heart goes out to you because that just had to be such an experience that just shocks you, to have someone shake it up like that and to turn it around on you, my heart goes out to you.
Right. And for her to think that she's entitled to my furniture, my appliances that I purchased. Like, no. It doesn't work like
Wow.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to move to the last part of the show. We're just about to wrap up. 101 people in the chat. Welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here at Delightful DTV for this worldwide exclusive. We are talking with a couple who lived in Tanzania during the height of the pandemic, and they are sharing firsthand experiences that could save you, that could help you or someone you know. If you appreciate the content, definitely feel free to send over a super chat if there's a specific question that you want answered. We'll only do super chat questions for the interview. So let's get to the last part of this.
Okay, DJ, one moment. I know there's a question that I saw. I know it's not a super chat.
Okay.
But
go ahead.
I want to address it so people will be aware.
Okay, go ahead.
The question was, so people can take your money for rent and throw you out. Where are the repercussions? Okay. You have to realize you are a foreigner. Okay. Those locals stick together. It does not matter how wrong that they've done you. Those locals, they're going to stick together. They're going to lie for each other. And you're just sitting there holding an empty bag, boo. Remember that.
Wow.
If they call the police on you, even if you were not in the wrong and the local was in the wrong, the police are going to side with their people.
Wow. So you're saying the locals stick together?
Yes. They stick together. And then you also have to be careful because there are people that pose as attorneys. They will be in a building office like it's an attorney's office. They're not attorneys.
Oh,
I'm just letting you know, the people's and their scams are together over there. Okay, you got to be careful. They see you as a money bag. You need to realize, I know they're trying to say that the countries in Africa are developing countries. You need to realize you're still going to a third world country. You need to realize you are going where people are in poverty and they're going to do whatever they can do to make a buck, and they're going to make the buck off you.
Wow. So, I mean, essentially, you're outnumbered.
Correct.
So don't get into an argument. Don't get into a dispute because they're going to go with their people.
Correct. Correct. They know where all the foreigners are. They're going to watch you. They're nosy. They don't mind staring. They know everything that go on, and they can hear very well. Don't think they can't hear. They can hear.
Wow. Well, we have our first super chat of the show, and it comes from Alex B. Thank you so much, Alex. And he asked the couple, do you speak Kiswahili? Thank you so much for your super chat, Alex.
I do. Well, let's just say I did, because now that I'm not there, I don't have a need for it.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember a few words or phrases that you can share with the audience?
My favorite word is Kwenda.
Kwenda. Okay. And what does that mean?
Go. That means go far away. I went far away. I had to go. I had to Kwenda. Hapana is no, and I'm glad you mentioned about Kiswahili. People that's going over there, please learn the language. Learn the language before you get there. Do not wait to learn the language when you get there. You need to learn the language so you can know what these people are saying.
So They are saying that she did speak better Kiswahili when she was there, but with any language, once you stop using it, you start to lose it. But she did share with us Kwenda, which means go or go far away.
No. Quinda is go, but I just
Go.
put go far away on there. But Quinda is
Oh,
go.
okay. She added her own to the Swahili. Okay. Okay, so we got Quinda. Alex, let us know if that answers your question. Thank you so much for the super chat. If you want to be like Alex and have your question put up here on the screen and ask the couple a question that you want an answer to, definitely feel free to send over a super chat or a cash app and we will make sure it gets up there. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so you get out of Tanzania. Was it easy for you to get out? Was it just like booking a flight and hopping back? You know, we know what led you to say it's time to go. Was it easy to get out of the country?
Well, the only thing that they did while we were there was they increased the price of the test, and they changed the ways that you could pay for the test. Because now this is just how I felt about them doing that. I felt that they did that to keep people from taking the test, because of people that may have been positive. They wanted to keep that hush hush. So I felt like that's why they increased the price and changed the way you were able to pay for it.
Wow.
We also need to tell about what happened at the airport.
About immigration?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the girl, we was trying to leave out to go tell us about our visa.
Oh yeah, that's immigration. That was immigration. Okay. So this is something for you guys to know that's leaving the country. And it can even happen coming into the country. You will get bribed in immigration. They tried to rough handle me into paying them in order to let me leave the country. And I told them, I'm not paying you a dime. And, they tried to say, oh, your visa expired. Your visa just expired. I'm like, my visa didn't just expire because I just bought a new one. So what are you talking about? It didn't expire. And then he was like, well, if you don't pay me, I'm going to cancel your visa. I'm like, well, I don't care. Cancel it because I'm not coming back anyway.
Wow. So they were literally trying to almost like stop you from leaving.
They just want some money. You can, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that country. Anything is negotiable and anything is bribable. Okay. They, in Arusha, let's say, how the airlines, you got to have a negative COVID test or whatever. In Arusha, you can go to Mount Meru Hospital, not even take the test, just pay them a little bit of money, and they're going to give you a negative certificate.
So you pay a certain amount of money and you can slip through.
You can do what you want to do. You can get what you want. Just like the yellow fever, they require you to have the yellow fever vaccine. Right. That's only if you're coming in from certain countries. You don't have to take the yellow fever vaccine. You drop them that money, they're going to give you that card like you took the vaccine.
Ooh, wow. All right.
And the same thing, going back and forth, because the way a lot of diasporans are over there, they're over there on a tourist visa, okay?
Okay.
You need to leave the country before that 90th day.
Okay.
You don't even have to leave the country.
Wow.
All you got to do, pay somebody, they're going to stamp your stuff, or they're going to send it to the border to get that border stamp like you crossed the border and you came on back in. Everything is negotiable and everything is bribable, okay?
Yeah. Wow. So you get out of Tanzania. Oh, hold up. We need to call out a super chat. We have a super chat from D Jones. Thank you so much, D. And she sent over $20. Big baller, shot caller. Thank you, D Jones, for your support of the channel. I really do appreciate you. And if you have a question for the couple or anything that you're curious about, definitely put it in the comments. But thank you so much for the super chat, and I will make sure to get you modded. Okay, awesome. So let's get back. So you leave Tanzania, come back to the States. Now we'll come to the end. What do you want to tell people like the most who are considering this repat journey to Tanzania? You're out of there, you are not going back. What is it that you want the world to know?
I want you all to know that you need to have your money right, okay? You can't go over there with just a little bit of money. Everybody's spending habits are different, and you're not going to find a house immediately. So you need to have your money right. You need to budget for being in a hotel or an Airbnb for a long length of time until you can find somewhere to rent. So, have your money right. Be mindful of the locals. Be mindful of the other diasporans that's there. You need to be mindful of everyone. I mean, you need to have a network, which that's probably going to be hard to do, but you need a good network. You do. You do. And just know you're going to get scammed. That's a given. You're going to get scammed. You're probably going to end up getting robbed. When you do get there and you are in an apartment or Airbnb, hotel, whatever you're in, make sure that your windows are closed, but they can open the windows, and they have these long sticks with hooks on the end that they stick to the window when you're asleep at night and steal your stuff.
Wow.
So,
and do not walk around with your cell phones out.
No, do not walk around with your cell phones out, because they can snatch your phones when you're out and about. If you have, I would suggest a cross-body bag and a backpack. If you have a backpack, wear your backpack in the front of you, not the back of you. If you have a cross-body bag, always keep that bag away from traffic, because they come by on those bodas, the motorcycles, and they snatch your stuff.
Oh, so you're saying make sure you have a crossbody, because they'll be on the boda and snatch it right off.
Right.
Got you. Wow. Well, before we continue, let me call out a super chat. It is from Mr. Dacus, the Navigator. He sent over a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Dacus. And he says, do they have a desire to travel to another African country? So to the couple, Mr. Dacus would love to know. And thank you so much for the super chat, Mr. Dacus.
Well, my husband doesn't have a desire to. He's done. He has let what happened to him there ruin it for every country. And I've tried to tell him, just because those things happen to us there, that doesn't mean everyone is that way. Now, me, myself, yes, I'm going to go to another African country. I'm not going to let that stop me.
Hubby, do you have anything you want to say about this?
No.
He said no.
He said no. He said no.
He said he's done.
No. Well, so the hubby has no desire to travel to another African country, but you, as the wife, you feel like Tanzania, you're not going to let that experience ruin it for you for other places.
No, I'm not. I'm just not going to do that, because which I've heard from other people that's gone to other countries, they say it's all the same, but I want to see for myself.
I mean,
I want to experience it for myself.
Let me just say this. I'll say this: the country, the part of Tanzania, the country, and the food is excellent.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't beat it. The scenery and all that, you can't beat it.
You just need to get rid of the people that's there.
It's just the people.
Yeah. Well, not all the people, some of the people, because surely every local isn't that conniving.
Wow. So to piggyback a little bit off this question, has this experience changed how you see Africans as a whole or blackness? Because right, like we have a lot of ideologies in America, like Pan-Africanism, and Black people in America tend to look up to Africans and they want to go home and it's the motherland. Has this experience changed the way that you think about Africans as a whole and about the idea of blackness as a whole?
It has definitely changed the way I see Africans.
How so?
Yeah, their minds are colonized. They just they're not like us.
And again, we're
They're
not speaking about all Africans. We're just talking about what we
right. They're not like us. You know, they don't have the mindset that we have. And I know it was because they were brought up differently and they experienced different things from what we did or what we have. But yes, it has totally changed my views of some of the Africans on the continent.
So what has changed? Like what specifically, like one or two things that when you were in America before you went to Tanzania, you felt one way, but now that you've actually experienced it, you feel differently. One or two specific examples.
They're definitely not my brother or sister.
Mm. So this whole thing of my brother, you realize that is more of an American fantasy than it
Correct.
is a reality in Africa.
Correct.
To the Black Americans in the chat, welcome. We have 116 people in the chat, just breaking records over here. Thank you all for joining us. Everyone is welcome on this channel. But specifically want to say to the Black Americans, I really do want to take this moment to highlight what the couple is saying, because that whole thing of my brother is a very American concept. The idea that you are the same as someone based on skin color is an American ideology. And once you get to Africa, you're going to find out that does not exist in reality. And they're telling you here and now, if you are one of those who believes that, you might be in for a little bit of a rude awakening. To the couple, is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up? I want to give you a few minutes to say anything that you want to say, respectfully, of course, but anything that you feel like you want to get off your chest. I really want to open the floor up for you to just have this time. So I'm going to be quiet and let you say anything that you want to say.
Okay, I just want to say when you're going over there, just know that there will be a possibility that some of your things will get taken from you out of your luggage. What they'll do is they'll say it's not allowed in this country, or they'll say it's contraband in order to steal your things. So just be aware of that. So if there's something that you can't bear to part with, don't bring it. Don't bring it.
And there's something else I would like to say too. I read a comment, and I can't speak for the older African generation, but the younger ones that are here now, they speak very good English. They teach them English in school. We was staying right next to a school where that's all they teach them in English.
Yeah,
is in school
they're
is
taught in English.
So they know English very well.
They do. So don't let them trick you and say they don't speak English. They don't understand.
Yeah,
they do.
Because they will talk it to you until you find something that they've said wrong. And then they'll act like I don't know no English.
All of a sudden, Swahili, Kiswahili. Like, we just had a full-blown conversation in English. Now that I'm getting on to you about something, you all of a sudden don't speak English. Mindful.
They speak very good English over there. Very good.
Yeah. Very good. Yes. And then so also for
you in the middle of the conversation, suddenly they don't understand.
Right. And also for people that's moving there, that's sitting over their shipping containers, the same thing applies that I told you about as far as the luggage when you're flying. The same thing applies when you're having the shipping container sent over there. They're going to take some of your stuff. So just be prepared for that. And another thing they'll do, if it's things in your shipping container that they really like and they want, they're going to jack that price up that you're not going to want to pay. So you can walk away and leave your stuff there so they can take your stuff.
Wow. Wow. I mean,
so those are things to think about.
Wow. Well, we will end it here. My last question to you is, now that you're back in the States, do you have appreciation for living in America now? Like, do you value living in America now? Like, has anything changed in your perception of America now that you've had this experience?
Nothing has changed in my perception of America. It is
Mm,
still what it is. It is still a racist country.
mm,
And it's going to stay that way until we, as Black Americans, learn how to unite and get this taken care of. Like, if we can
mm,
get together, we can stop a lot of things that's going on. But it's too many, people want to be on the top, and this person, stop that. It's called
mm,
unification.
mm,
I mean, we've been hated on enough. We don't need to hate each other.
mm-hmm.
We just don't.
Absolutely. Wow.
So
And
America is still racist. It's gonna stay racist until we do what we need to do as Black people, and that's all it is to it. Do you all do know? And if you don't know, I'm going
mm,
to tell you: the white man's biggest fear of our Blackness is unification.
mm, wow. And for the husband, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share as we wrap up?
He said no.
Okay. Wow. Well, we will call it here. But I have to tell you, this was such a powerful story. And I want to thank you for your bravery, for even coming forward and sharing what you've experienced, because you could have stayed in the shadows and said, you know what, let them find out for themselves. But you thought about other people and you decided to come forward in the hopes of helping someone. And so I just want to say thank you so much to both of you for your courage, for your bravery, and for your honesty. And I know that your experience is going to help someone. There are 117, 119 folks in the chat. Your story will help someone. So I really just want to say thank you so much.
Karibu sana dada. That means you're very welcome, sister. My husband has decided that he does have something that he wants to say.
Absolutely. Come on down, hubby.
Oh, I just want this. This goes out to my Black American men when they go over to the continent with their wives or girlfriends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Be mindful that the African men will try them. They talk very bad to our sisters, to our wives. They
Right.
do. So do not let your wife go out alone or with another female without a man around, because they will talk bad to the female.
Yeah.
What?
Right. The women there in the country are not respected. They're
Mm.
disrespected by men all the time. The women do not have a voice in the country.
Mm.
So that's a cultural thing.
Wow. So wait, you can't just say this and leave us. We need to understand the
I
husband
mean,
when you say
they're
that the
very
women when you
they're
say they
very
will
dis,
try. Go
they're
ahead.
very disrespectful toward women. I mean, I've had
Yeah.
one try to. Me and my wife, we was in separate cars, and a guy tried to put her out because she asked him to turn on the AC.
What?
Yes, they do not believe in running air conditioners over there. It's hot over there, and they do not believe in running air conditioners. They'll tell
Uh,
you they'll tell you that I don't have enough gas or I don't have air conditioning, but they have
mm.
air conditioning.
Right.
So a
And they would
woman.
talk to our American women just like they do the African women,
The locals,
the
the local
local.
women.
Mm.
They treat them bad. I mean,
Wow.
it was like two or three occasions that I had almost gotten in a fight with a couple of them for trying to talk bad to my wife. They didn't think, I guess they thought I was African or wasn't gonna stand up or whatever. I don't know, but I don't roll like that.
Wow. Well, that's definitely something that we need to know.
But
So to
they
the
will do
women
that.
out there.
They will
Mhm.
do that.
So when you say they'll talk bad, do you mean they'll raise their voice? Do you mean
Yes.
they're being very
Oh yes.
suggestive?
They
Like,
would
what are we talking about?
they would treat them just like an African lady. They would raise their voice. They would tell them they have no right to say anything to them. Don't speak to them.
They
Don't
will
do
even
nothing.
put their hands on you.
Yeah, we've had one American lady that my wife talked to. She said that guy got physical with her.
No, you remember in the market when I was speaking Kiswahili and he thought that I was a local. So yeah, I was in the market buying food and I was talking to the guys. And so this one guy got mad because I didn't want to buy something from him. You know, I was walking away and he ran and grabbed me by my shoulder and snatched me around, you know, because I wouldn't buy from him. And that's when he found out that day, oh, she's not a local, she is American. Because I went off.
Wow. So he put his hands on you.
Yes, because I wouldn't buy something from him. And he thought that I was a local because I was speaking the language with him.
Wow. So to the Black American women and the diaspora women, be aware that they are saying, number one, you may be spoken to in a disrespectful way, and they may even put hands on you. She's saying that he actually snatched her up because she didn't want to buy from him. And so, you know, we hear a lot of things about how, you know, African women, the African queen, they're so respected, they're so modest, but it sounds like that's not what's really going on the ground. Is that right?
No, that's correct. Not there. I mean, the majority, the women are the ones that's getting out working every day and making the money and doing everything. The men are sitting around watching TV and playing cardboard games and stuff.
Wait, well, that sounds like Black America. So I guess I guess we really are Africans. Isn't that the same thing that happens in Black America?
I mean, we've seen things that was just like, oh my goodness. You know, it's crazy. You know how the men do the women. You remember that lady
the
that
women
was walking?
doing the work in Africa, just like in America. So
remember the lady
that
was a lady that was walking. She was pregnant. She had a baby strapped to her back. She had something on her head, and she was carrying a suitcase. And her husband was walking behind her, texting on his phone. He was not even helping the lady. My husband helped her.
The woman got to carry the luggage and everything, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I even had this guy tell me that I was disrespecting him. I said, how am I disrespecting you? I said, I haven't raised my voice to you. I haven't done any of that. He said, you disrespected me because you're talking to me. A man isn't supposed to talk to a woman here. And I was like, well, you're going to talk to this woman today.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. It was time to get up out of there. Wow.
Right.
Well, see, that's something that we need to know, because we see a lot of single, you know, sisters that are going over there and they're not prepared for getting treated like that. And that was actually something that, you know, the Dickinson, shout out to the Dickinson family, that was something that they brought up when they were there. They saw a woman get beat while they were there. And so this is something that you have to consider, and you may not receive protection in the way that you would in America. That's just the bottom line.
Well, I mean,
you won't, because nobody there helps our queen. I mean, it takes another American man to do it. Like I used to have to do it for a lot of American women when I see them get disrespected.
So you stepped in.
Yes.
I mean, that's just the culture. I mean, that's the culture. The women there are used to that. We're not used to that. So that's something to think about going over there. I don't know if it's just that country. It could be all the countries over there, but I know it's happening over there in that one.
Wow, absolutely. Wow. Well, we will end it there. We're just a little over an hour and 42. So I just want to thank you again so much for coming through and sharing this enlightening story. You've certainly educated me on some things today, and you've educated folks in the chat. I do see some folks that are saying you helped them already with their trip that they're thinking about. You've helped them with some information. So I hope it gives you some comfort that you've shared your story and that people did hear you.
Well, this is one thing I will tell people that wants to go to Africa. Do your research. Research the country you want to go to and the things that you want to make sure that you can get. You want to make sure you can get residency with no problem. You want to make sure that you can actually buy land in your name and own it. If you can't do it in that country, don't go.
Wow.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not about to get residency in Tanzania. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
You're not getting residency. You're not getting it. You're not getting a work permit. Now you can get a student visa, but you're not getting anything else. And you're surely not going to be able to buy land in your name and on it. It's not going to happen. They try to say, oh, if you're an investor, you still don't own the land. You better look at the fine print.
And so folks that are going there and spending money, they're not really going to get the return because they're not going to be citizens and they're not going to get that benefit.
Right.
That's something to think about because citizenship is a hot topic right now. And I see a lot of repats that are going through it in their respective countries because they've chosen countries where they cannot get citizenship, and all the money that they've invested, the travel and everything, it's basically been for nothing. I saw a comment that a woman left. She's been traveling for 7 years back and forth to a certain West African country, and she has nothing to show for it because she can't actually own anything. So you'd be wise to listen to what this couple is saying. And I want to call out one more super chat from iMovement. He sent over $20 because he's a big baller shot caller. Thank you so much, iMovement. And he says, love your channel, Dee. Oh, thank you so much, iMovement. That makes me so happy. I put in the work on this channel because I believe that we all have something important to say. So no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, you are welcome here and your story can be told. iMovement, you're a VIP, so thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna let you all drop off while I say goodbye to the audience. Thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
You're welcome, and you enjoy your weekend as well. And you guys, go DJ those thumbs up. That's her channel. Y'all gotta help her out.
Enjoy.
Oh, I love it. Oh, you know the way to my heart. Okay, see y'all. Bye.
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 All right. Woo, that was a hot one. If you enjoyed that show, I need you to drop some fire emojis in the chat. I need you because they really turned it up. They told us the real deal about living in Tanzania, and they let us know what was really going down. They have no reason to lie. They lived there, they did it, they've done it, and they've told the story. And now it's up to the folks to understand what was being said. Now, I should say, if you still want to go, then that's great. But knowledge is always power. So it's better if you go somewhere and you understand what you're going to be dealing with, as opposed to going somewhere and not knowing what you're going to be dealing with. And so at least now you have some knowledge about the situation, and you can say, okay, here's my approach. Here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave it there. If you are on your way out of the chat, hit that thumbs up before you go. And I'm going to play some music as we exit. Please say goodbye to your DJ, and I will catch you on the next one. Say goodbye to me in the chat, y'all. And I'm going to play some of my music. 104 people in the chat. Hey. Say goodbye. Au revoir. Adios. So long. Mwah. Thank you to all those who donated via super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye. Mwah. All right, I'm out.